Good evening, Dharma friends. Wish you the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem, Teruvan Saranai. Let me welcome you to today's Sutta study class, April 2nd, the first Sutta study class of this month. And everything is ready to begin this Sutta study class with wholesome blessings from our good friends who participate in live stream and Zoom and also YouTube. Let me begin the class with the usual venerations to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times in Pali and also in English. Wish you all blessings and may you all be able to develop the Dharma in numerous ways in this Sutta study class. With that in mind, I'm going to recite the respect and venerations to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends, in today's Sutta study class, we are going to discuss another wonderful discourse proposed by Derek and Dr. Pial. That is Sutta number 70 in Majjhima Nikaya. As you know, this Majjhima Nikaya is categorized into 3 main sections. First one is called Patamapannasaka, which means there are 50 suttas, and the second category is also having 50 suttas, and the third category has 52. Altogether, there are 152 discourses in Majjhima Nikaya, and this sutta falls into second category, and the number is 70. If you want to read it in the real Majjhima Nikaya, either in Pali or in English, you may do so for many information. Kitagiri Sutta. It is named by the place of the incident and also the delivery of the discourse happened. This discourse teaches us very good elements of the Dhamma, including faith and the way of Dhamma learning, and also different types of individuals who understood the Dhamma. So we can go into details of the discourse as we discuss. And one of the interesting discussion of the discourse is about untimely eating, and some erroneous monks at the time of the Buddha were reported in the discourse as well, who actually sometimes did not listen even to the Buddha. And we have such names in this discourse. And then Buddha talks about the confirming Dhamma. So when a situations which is very bad happen in the Sangha order with regard to misinterpretation of Dhamma or misbehavior of monks and nuns, Buddha's authority on the Dhamma showed in a different way. This is another important aspect we should think. Buddha could have that ability to show his authority directly in a way that everybody shocked, but he did not do that. He was discussing the Dhamma with the other monks, and from the monks' concession and confirmation, Buddha made the point. So that is a very good quality of a good leader, and we can find that of the Buddha's lifestyle in this discourse. Here, when the problematic situation came into the order, Buddha dealt with the other monks, just like in Tanha Sankhe Sutta with the Sati Bhikkhu. Buddha wanted to confirm the other disciples whether this is said by me or not, and something like that. So we can see that, and type of saints, as I said, are recorded here. And when we go to the discourse further down, you can see all these wonderful teachings. So I encourage you to read it on your own if you are interested to know more. However, we are going to read some part of the discourse as time available. So first of all, thank you for selecting this discourse for the Sutta discussion. Let me now read the discourse for your benefits, because we were not able to send you any notes about it, because individuals who have done that kind of things like Dr. Pial or anyone might be busy, and it's not sometimes possible for us to do such things due to other programs. Anyway, we'll discuss that. So, thus I have heard, on one occasion, the Blessed One was wandering in Kasi country together with a large sangha of bhikkhus. There he addressed the bhikkhus thus. We do not want to hang on to those very important but very simple information. Let's continue reading. Bhikkhus, I abstain from eating at night. By doing so, I am free from illness and affliction, and I enjoy lightness, strength, and a comfortable abiding. Come, bhikkhus, abstain from eating at night. By so doing, you too will be free from illness and affliction, and you will enjoy lightness, strength, and a comfortable abiding. This passage is important because it sounds for some people that Buddha had taken meals after the midday meal. No, he didn't. No information is available that the Buddha took any meals after afternoon, since he attained to full enlightenment. But we can assume that some monks went on Pindapata. There is another discourse in Majjhima Nikaya confirm that a monk went on Pindapata in the evening time, and he fell into cesspit, and he stepped on cows, and some women, when they washed vegetables and other things and threw water through the door, and these monks stand in front of the door, so they got washed by those filthy water. There are such incidents happen for some monks. It indicates that, for my understanding, not Arahants, but the other monks got into trouble when they went on alms round in the evening time. So this passage tells that that monks some monks were in the Pindapata in the evening time, but I doubt whether it is Arahants. Arahants do not, I think, even before the rules came into existence, Arahants, in my view, did not do that. But those who are striving for that, I think, did, if this happened to them. Anyway, so important point is that if you take just 2 meals, actually, according to the available information, the Buddha and many monks after this incident took only 1 meal for a day. So they survive with that, and I think that meal is good, because monks and nuns later did only walking for preaching, and sometimes they made some vihara or kuti, but just 1 meal is enough for them, because when you have peaceful mind, you are not with that mindset to seek food just to satisfy your tongue and the desire for taste, but you are working with the Dharma to attain enlightenment, so that you don't need food. I think many of you have gone to retreats for 7 days and 10 days and 15 days or more than that. Imagine what kind of food you are thinking of when you do meditation. Nothing, because food is not in the list of interest in you when you do a meditation, because your mind is busy with the Dharma you need to practice and the hindrances you need to deal with. It is a requirement, definitely, but you are not thinking about it. Just to survive, you eat food. So here we can think that monks, just one meal, a very good enough meal, is sufficient for them to survive. As a result, they have less physical problems, and good health is there, and easy to meditate, easy to take their mind into that kind of Dhamma elements. So it's the Buddha speak about the benefits of avoiding meals after daytime, so that monks are following now. Then monks, large number of, I think 99.9 something 99 point some points of the monks agreed whatever the Buddha said here and elsewhere. Excuse me. Then the Buddha was wandering stages by stages in the Kasi country. Eventually, he arrived a town called Kitagiri. Kitagiri, yes. Then he lived in Kitagiri for some time. In the meantime, there are some bhikkhus who led by Assaji and Punabbasu in the Kitagiri. This just one name or one name for a group, or two monks for we don't know yet. Even Bhikkhu Bodhi in other Dharma talks question whether this is a title for a group of monks or names for two monks who are leading a group of monks. We do not know, but there are two names here, Assaji and Punabbasu. So the number of bhikkhus in Kitagiri heard that these two monks, or just this group, Assaji and Punabbasu, said something otherwise. So, Buddha said that eating in proper time doesn't help anyone. Just avoid it and expect good health, lightness, and it's a more physical preparations for mental cultivation. So you are dealing with right if you avoid this eating in proper time. But this Punabbasu, Assaji and Punabbasu said something like this. Let me find that statement. Yeah, it is over here. Friends, we eat in the evening, in the morning, in the day outside the proper time. By so doing, we are free from illness, affliction, and we enjoy lightness, strength, and a comfortable abiding. So Buddha said something else, the total opposite. But these monks said that we eat in the morning, in the day, in the evening, in daytime. Whenever we feel hunger, we eat. By doing so, we have good health. We are very good in balancing our health, and we feel lightness by eating. When the stomach is empty, we feel suffer. When the stomach is full, always we feel comfortable. That's what they said. Why should we abandon? So this is the important thing. They continued, why should we abandon a benefit visible here and now to pursue a benefit to be achieved at a future time? So Buddha's statement said that if you avoid eating in the evening or at night, you will be expecting that good result that you all expect from the teaching. it would provide you an easy ground for you to meditate. Then these monks said that, why do we expect something in the future by experiencing suffering right now? So it is good for us to plan the time right now without any problem. So why do we expect something in the future, which is the statement they made. So we eat in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So we find relaxation, comfort, lightness, and life free from illnesses and affliction by doing so. That is what they said. So then we continue in the discourse that usually in this kind of situation, the monks who believed the Buddha's word 100% tried to turn the wrong view of the other party here, Assaji and Punabbasu. But it didn't work. And what happened at the end? This monk who were trying to turn the Assaji and Punabbasu and the rest of the monk into right teaching went to the Buddha and reported the matter. This is what these monks believe in Kitagiri. Then the Buddha, sent a messenger, a monk, to Assaji and Punabbasu to discuss the matter. And they came, and Buddha asked the same question. Are you doing this? Are you not in my words? What have been doing has not been stopped by you. Are you doing that? Here, I just want to say something else. If you look at the Vinaya Pitaka, where all these Vinaya rules are recorded, and also background story for these Vinaya rules. These two, either monks or group that they lead, reported as very arrogant and disobedient monks or group of monks. So this wouldn't be the first time that the Buddha and the Sangha experience that these two monks or other monks under them misbehaved or disobedient to the Buddha's word. So here the Buddha tried to speak about the disadvantage of eating at night in proper time, but there is no such thing happen in the Assaji and Punabbasu. They did not accept the fact that the Buddha is right, and they didn't agree according to the available information. Let me read that part. Yes, friend, they replied, and they went to the Blessed One, and after paying homage to him, sat down at one side. The Blessed One, the Buddha, said this: Bhikkhus, is it true that when a number of bhikkhus went and told you, friends, the Buddha and the Sangha are now abstain from eating at night? Come, friends, abstain from eating at night. You told these bhikkhus, friend, we eat in the evening, in the morning, in daytime, and why should we abandon a benefit visible here and now to pursue a benefit to be achieved at a future time? Did you tell that? Did you say that? Yes, Venerable. So they agreed that they said. Because then the Buddha's exposition is really important here. He wanted to confirm what he has been said so far by asking question. Because have you known me to teach the Dharma in such a way as this? Have I taught you Dharma in this way? Whatever this person experienced, this person means just average person. Whatever this person experiences, whether pleasant or painful or neither painful nor pleasant, unwholesome states diminished in him or wholesome state increased. No, Venerable Sir. Do you understand that? Because it's a long statement. Basically, what the Buddha said, have I taught you that the pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, and a neutral feeling, when somebody experiences any of these feelings, it unwholesome state of mind is going away and wholesome states increase. In other words, In other words, when we experience pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling, what kind of things happen to us? Do we experience unwholesome state of mind is going away when we experience either feeling or increase wholesome state? Has the Buddha said that? Kind of no. If you did not get the point, please questions or somebody else can explain better if better than me, because if you get the point and you can explain it from your own words. So once again, the Buddha question, have I told you before like a statement like this? What is the statement? When a person experiences either pleasant feeling or painful, unpleasant feeling or neutral feeling, unwholesome states diminished and wholesome states increase. We all know the fact that no, because three types of feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. If we do not have right understanding about them, we know the fact that they lead into tanha, upadana. Vedana pacha tanha, tanha pacha upadana. So just by any of these feeling, automatically doesn't practice any Dhamma. So when we experience pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling, there is 100% chance of unwholesome state, not wholesome state. But if we have right understanding and also other important Dhamma elements, there is a chance of wholesome states, and they are increased because we have right understanding and right thinking over feeling, so that we have the chance of increasing wholesome state and diminishing unwholesome state. So then Buddha continues, because have you not known me to teach the Dhamma in such a way as this? Here, when someone feels a certain kinds of pleasant feeling, unwholesome state increase in him and wholesome states diminish. But I think we all need to read mindfully and also silent if you want to get out of confusion. But some sutta translation, if you do not read carefully, we miss the point. So if you do not get the point, you may read it again and try your best to understand the gist of the statement just by discussion. But when someone feels another kind of pleasant feeling, unwholesome state diminish in him and wholesome state increase in him. Here, someone, it's a long line, paragraph. What exactly Buddha said is right here. So when we experience pleasant feeling, some pleasant feelings gives us unwholesome state. Some pleasant feeling gives us wholesome states as a result. When we experience some unpleasant feelings, we may have unwholesome state in mind and they are increasing. And when some unpleasant feelings come into appear, we may be able to develop wholesome state, and we would expect the increase of wholesomeness. When some neither painful nor pleasant feeling come in our experience, unwholesome states arise. In some cases, we have wholesome state. So Buddha asked bhikkhus there whether I have taught you this. Yes, Venerable Sir. Good monks, if it were unknown by me, unseen, unfound, unrealized, uncontacted by wisdom thus. Here, when someone feels a certain kind of pleasant feeling, unwholesome state increase in him and wholesome state diminish, would it be fitting for me, not knowing that, to say abandon such a kind of pleasant feeling? No, Venerable Sir. So when when there is a kind of pleasant feeling, an unwholesome state increase in with that, and wholesome state diminished, would it be good for me to say abandon? Because it increases with this pleasant feeling, it increases unwholesome state, right? With the pleasant feeling, we increase unwholesome state and diminish or reduce or decrease wholesome state. Is it okay for me to say keep it or not? Because it increases unwholesome state. According to the Buddha's teaching and his way of explaining Dharma, he would say no, because it increases unwholesome state. Due to pleasant feeling, it increases unwholesome state, and wholesome states are going down. Then he would say no, because it increases unwholesome state. Like this, you can see Buddha questions the monks over there. When unwholesome state, when a pleasant feeling is the unwholesome state increase in him and wholesome state diminish, that I therefore say abandon such kind of feeling, abandon such kind of pleasant feeling, because this pleasant feeling increases unwholesome state and diminish wholesome state, so it should be abandoned. Like this, we have a page also questioning bhikkhus about the feeling. If I go to read this one page and half, 1.5 page, I think it's a waste of time. I would simply say here that Buddha talks about feeling, and he questions if there is pleasant feeling, and if it increases unwholesome state and decreases wholesome state, it should be abandoned. If the pleasant feeling increases wholesome state and abandon unwholesome state, relatively, comparatively, it is good to be practiced, because wholesome state are going to increase with that. And when unpleasant feeling is there, there would be unwholesome states because of that, then it should be abandoned. When there is unpleasant feeling, and if we have right understanding over it, we can we can keep it, but relatively it is good for the moment, because you are going to develop some wholesome state. So here, if bhikkhus, I do not say of all bhikkhus that they still have work to do with diligence, and nor do I say of all bhikkhus that they have no more work to do with diligence. So with regard to feeling, with regard to such Dhamma, some bhikkhus are there who should work further, and I do not say that everyone should work on that, because some already has gone beyond the normal level. If one has at least to attain to Sotapanna level, some of the Buddha's teaching are not applicable for him, because he has or she has already done certain teaching. So here, why did the Buddha explain about feeling? Why such a long discussion about feeling going on here? Because when you say that I eat 3 times or 4 times in a day to find comfort and lightness and such things, it is about a feeling. You are seeking only pleasant feeling. You are seeking some comfort. As a bhikkhu, you have to strive on to attain enlightenment disregarding any type of feeling, as we said, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, and neutral feeling. So it is a disgrace for bhikkhus to go behind pleasant feeling, either by eating, either by looking for comfortable abiding, or any other material things. So that's why Buddha wanted to confirm either Assaji or Punabbasu or other monks there, that I have not said such things in my Dhamma. What I have said is each type of feelings are conditioned or sankara, so that what you are looking for with feeling is going out of the flow of craving or attachment or taints or asa, whatever it is. So having done the training well, some bhikkhus I do not want to advise them, because they have already done something in the teaching, in the Vinaya. But some bhikkhus should accept my advice for them to go into certain level of enlightenment. So here I do not say of all bhikkhus that they still have works to do with diligence. They are arahants. Buddha never advised arahants. He would, Buddha would have, done some conversation with the arahants or some request sometime, because Buddha had that authority to call upon even Venerable Sariputta, Moggallana for a valuable reasons, not for telling them the Dhamma. It doesn't mean that the Buddha spoke the Dhamma in front of arahants. Of course he did, but not for the purpose of making them educated about the Dhamma. They have already done. They have gone beyond the normal average limit. They have gone beyond the Noble Eightfold Path, so that the Buddha discussed Dhamma with arahants just to confirm something for somebody or future disciples, but there is nothing for him to do. So when the Buddha said that I do not want to advise for some monks some nuns to do further work on them, they are arahants. I do not say of these bhikkhus who are arahants with taint destroyed and who have lived the holy life, done what had to be done, and laid down the burden, reached the true goals, destroyed knowledge, destroyed fetters of being, and are completely liberated through final knowledge, and that they still have work to do with the diligence. Why is that? They have done their work with diligence. They are no more capable of being negligent. With regard to the first part of the discourse, where the Buddha talks about the Asaji Punabbasu and eating in proper time and questionings about feeling and so forth, what exactly we talk about is the Shraddha on the Buddha, Shraddha on the Dhamma, Shraddha on the training principle, and stick into your final goal. So when you do not have that proper understanding about the Vinaya rules and your life as a monk or nun, you are not going to do your best in the teaching. First of all, we have to have that Shraddha, that this is the perfect life for me to embrace those elements of Dhamma. This is a provided life for such matters. So why do you come to the order, leaving everything behind, if you have come in such mindset, just to end suffering? Sabba dukkha nissarana, nibbana sacchi karanattaya, imang kāsāvaṁ gahitva pabbā jetamang bhante anukampaṁ upadāya. We all said this to our teachers at the ordination. Sabba dukkha nissarana, to abandon all kinds of suffering and come to security. Nibbana sacchi karanattaya, to confirm the full enlightenment. Nibbana sacchi karanattaya. Imang kāsāvaṁ detva or gahitva, by giving me this robe, or by requesting this robe, please ordain me in the community of monks and nuns. So this is what we said to our teachers at the ordination. So when you come to the order as a monk and nun, so you have such vision in mind, so you have Shraddha. You should have Shraddha on what you are wearing and on what you are doing, and whole teachings of the Buddha, including the Buddha himself. So without that, if you do not have it, just like Asaji and Funabasu, you are not going to work on what you promise yourself. So either as a layperson, you should have Shraddha on the at least the Dhamma, so that everything is covered there. So you are going to achieve certain things. Shraddha here means the acceptance, the trust on what you are reading, on what you are believing, on what you are practicing. So that is indication of what we have in the first part of the discourse. Now Buddha talks about such people who do not want to advise, and also some people who still should be advised. Let us read. So Arahants are not capable of negligence because they do not have any craving, any attachment, any asava in their mind. Even without the Buddha, there are no problems happen to them. If you remember the story of Rattapala, it is in Majjhima Nikaya. So Venerable Rattapala came to the order in an extraordinary way after doing a hunger strike. Then he was able to attain full enlightenment within a very short period of time. So he wanted to see his parents because he promised his parents to come and see them once he practiced the Dhamma. So Buddha looked at his mind and came to know that he is avoid of any sort of negligence, which means he confirmed his arahantship. So Buddha said that you may go. There is nothing happened to you because your mind has been completely transformed into noble state. So arahants therefore are not capable of being negligent. I say of such bhikkhus who are in higher training, whose mind have not yet reached the goal, and who are still aspiring to the supreme security from bondage, that they still have work to do with diligence. Why is that? Because when those venerable ones make sure of suitable resting place and associate with good friends and nurture their spiritual faculties, they may be realizing for themselves with the direct knowledge here and now, either enter upon and abide in the supreme goal of the holy life, for the sake of which clansmen rightly. So, seeing this fruit of negligence for these bhikkhus, I say that they still have work to do with diligence. So, here we can discuss about those individuals who speak about the sutta. Arahants, Arahants are away from advice, and it doesn't mean the Buddha does not need to advise them. But there are other individuals like the one who is in the path of arahantship should be advised further, and the anagami should be advised further, and the one who is in the path for anagami should be advised further, and then the sakadagami, and then the person who is on the path for sakadagami, and the sotapanna. These people should be further advised because they have work, they have certain things to do in the training. So here in this discourse, we find arahants in two categories. They are called. Let me find the discourse. Yeah, Ubatobhaka Vimukta. The one freed from both ways, dual freed, it's called dual freed, Ubatobhaka Vimukta. These arahants according to another sutta, meditated in both ways, samatha and vipassana. They have completed their training with the attainments to 8 liberations, and also they have eradicated craving by way of practicing panya. So, Cheto Vimutta, Panya Vimutta, two vehicles have been practiced by these bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, so that they are called Ubato Bhagavimutta. In other words, they were able to release their mind from craving by practicing both samatha and vipassana to the highest extent. They are called Ubato Bhagavimutta. Then we have Panya Vimutta. Panya Vimutta means they haven't done that concentration meditation much. Whatever they did in the training is to put their attention to anicca, dukkha, anatta concept with regard to 5 aggregates, so that they have eradicated all the defilements and confirm arahantship, but they lack that skills into those cheto vimutti. Once they attain to arahantship by panya vimutta ways or vipassana meditation, they do not want to try out all these things because they have done their exercise for full enlightenment. So in Susheema Sutta, the Susheema was disciples of somebody who is famous at the time of the Buddha. He became a monk just to know what exactly Buddha said and disrupt and get back into the order he was. So Venerable Susheema was able to stay close to the Buddha to hear those conversation of those bhikkhus who attained to enlightenment and the Buddha, because he wanted to see what is going on. So he noticed that some bhikkhus came to the Buddha and claimed their achievements in his spiritual achievement, and went to those bhikkhus later and asked, so you claim that you attained full enlightenment, so can you sink down the earth? Can you fly in the sky? Can you walk on the water? Because attainment to arahantship means you can do this kind of magical things. They said, no, we cannot do them, but we are fully enlightened beings. How could that be, according to Susheema? So Susheema's conversation in the Susheema Sutta confirmed that there were Panya Vimutta who did not have any skill of all these super powers. But those who have gone through Cheto Vimutti had developed some skills like Cheto Paryaya and Pubbe Nivasanusati, Dibbachakku, and so forth. They could do some miracles. Some people question whether Venerable Sariputta is such a bhikkhu who practice only vipassana. No, Venerable Sariputta could do miracles too. He could go to divine world, Brahma realm, and he was able to attain to Sanya Vedete Nirodha, and he knows many of those things by experience. So Venerable Sariputta is a full package. He's a good example who developed everything. But just like Moggallana, Anuruddha, and other monks, he was not specialized on one particular thing, but he had all skills. So we are talking about Panya Vimutta Arahants. They have practiced meditation on 5 aggregates with the 3 characteristic anicca, dukkha, anatta, and liberated from bondage. So then we have what do you call other enlightened beings after let me get that Kaya Sakki, and then Dittipatta, then Saddha Vimutta. These are some of the saints. We talk about body witness, Kaya Sakhi, they have mostly developed Samadhi Indriya. Kaya Sakhi, body witness mean they practice Samadhi very much, so that they are very capable of 4 jhanas and other immaterial jhanas. So that's why we call them Kaya Sakhi. They have witnessed the Samma Samadhi very much, so that they are called, they were able to release from all these defilement by using Samadhi. Then view attainer or Dittipatta, the faculty of wisdom, is the main development of them. Their indriya or faculty that they develop is panya. And then Saddha Vimutta, faith friend, we call them faculty of faith. Saddindriya is developed very much. So if you look at Arahants, their nature is different from each other. Venerable Sariputta is foremost for wisdom, and Venerable Mahakassapa was such a monk who practiced very difficult practices called Dhutanga. And then there were other monks who practiced other things like Tabbamalla, Kumarakassapa. They were very capable of certain psychic things. So they are very capable of certain things, but they have other things in their account as well. So with this categorization of Kitagiri Sutta and elsewhere in the Tripitaka, with these 7 types of people, we find Kaya Sakhi, Dittipatta, Saddha Vimutta, because they have practiced much on that. That's why they are called by that name. Then we have, let me get them, Dhammanusari and Saddhanusari. Ubatobaga Vimutta, Panya Vimutta, then Kaya Sakhi, Dittipatta, Saddha Vimutta, and then 6th one is Dhammanusari, and the 7th one is Saddhanusari. So truth follower, Dhammanusari, truth follower. In Okkanti Samyutta of Samyutta Nikaya, we find these categories also. So truth follower means, according to Kitagiri Sutta, a certain person not having touched the freedom with the body dwells not in those liberations that are peaceful and formless, transcending forms, and his mental influxes are not yet destroyed through his having seen them with wisdom. But those for whom the truth proclaimed by the Tathagata are accepted after just some pondering over them with wisdom. So they haven't done any destruction of craving yet, but they have thought about the Buddha's word and accepted the truth based on their knowledge, experience, and wisdom. In other words, they do not believe on certain things just because the Buddha said, just because somebody else said. They are capable of knowing the truth of mind and body in line with the Buddha's teaching through their own experience. That's why we call truth follow. They found these truths, as said by the Buddha, through their experiments, through their testings on mind and mental abilities and physical body and so forth. Therefore, they are called Dhammanusari. In Okkanti Samyutta, it is clearly said that if you observe your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, and the respective objects, respective consciousness, and then the contact and the feeling and the tanha or feeling, you are going to be Dhammanusari, because you test them in your own, in your experience that they are impermanence, they are subject to change, they are not self, and so forth. So you become a Dhammanusari, and it is said in the Okkanti Samyutta further that you are not going to die without attainment to Sotapanna state. And the next one is Saddhanusari, faith follower. The significant characteristic features of this person is has just a bit of faith in the Tathagata, just a bit of love for him. Saddha Pemamata. He or she, whether it is a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni or layperson, believes on the Buddha, believes on the Tathagata. So he is not in a position to evaluate or analyze those facts from his or her own experiences, but he accepts the fact that the Buddha is right. What he said is right. So he is called Saddhanusari. And according to Okkanti Sangyutta of the Sangyutta Nikaya, he is also coming to the point that is attainment to Sotapanna before his death, because he developed that Shraddha, that faith on the Buddha, on the Dhamma, on the Sangha or training principle very much. He is going to come to that level. So then we found, let me get. So we found this statement in the Kitagiri Sutta at last. There has not been the faith. After that, because there is a four-phrased statement, and when it is recited, a wise man would quickly understand it. I shall recite it to you because try to understand it. So Buddha is going to say something, and he said that wise people understand the meaning of this, and please listen, please try to understand. What is that? Venerable Sir, who are then Asaji and Punabbasu, those bhikkhus said, Venerable Sir, who are we that we should understand the Dhamma? So then Buddha said, bhikkhus, even with the teacher who is concerned with material things and here to material things, attached to material things, such hangling by his disciple would not be proper. If we get this, we will do it. If we don't get this, we won't doing it. So what should be said when the teacher is the Tathagata, who is utterly detached from material things? So Buddha continues, bhikkhus, for a faithful disciple who is intent on fathom the teaching, the Buddha's dispensation, it is natural that he conduct himself thus. The Blessed One is my teacher, I am the disciple, and the Blessed One knows I do not know, for a faithful disciple who is intent on. So here Asaji and Punabbasu, those two bhikkhus or one bhikkhu who leads the group, did not accept the Buddha's statement. So here Buddha continued after that. If a disciple believes that I do not know, but the Buddha knows, and he is having Shraddha, which means he opened up his mind for repair. I mean, his mind could be well maintained by the teaching or by the teacher, because he accepts the fact that I do not know, but the Buddha knows. When it comes to normal practical level, you have to have that mind that I, from my experience, know something, but there are other people who knows much, who perhaps know better than I. It is quite relevant to a bhikkhu like me. I should not stay in the mindset that I am the one who knows much. There are such bhikkhus in today's world. They openly say that I am the superior in understanding Dharma. No one else can explain like me. There are such people in this society. But if you keep your mind open that I know this Dhamma facts, but there would be other people who knows it in different ways and better than me perhaps, and that is a good quality of a monk. Suacho, mudu anatimani. in Karaniyametta Sutta, you have to have that flexible nature, humble nature to accept or to change your ideas. If you found something better than you thought about, leave whatever you have and accept those ideas. Like Upatis and Kolita, they were hanging into Sanjaya, and when Upatissa met Venerable Asaji and knew about the Dhamma, he didn't have any problem to accept the Buddha's teaching, because he knew that this is right and whatever I practiced previously is wrong. So a faithful disciple who is intent on fathom the Dhamma's Buddha's dispensation, the teacher's dispensation, is nourishing and refreshing. For a faithful disciple who is intent on this, it is natural that he conduct himself thus. Willingly let only my skin, sinews and bone remain. Let the flesh and blood dry up on my body, but my energy shall not be relaxed so long as I have not attained what can be attained by mainly strength, mainly energy, mainly persistence. So when you have that flexible, open mind, and have that trust on the teacher, these people can meditate until they attain enlightenment. The suffering they undergo during that period because of shortage of food, shortage of water, and then heat, they are disregarded by those disciples because they have full faith on the Buddha, on the teaching, so they strive on to attain full enlightenment. Then for a faithful disciple who is intent on fathom the teacher's dispensation, one of two fruits may be expected: either final knowledge here and now, or if there is a trash of clinging left, none return. This is what the Buddha said. Bhikkhus were satisfied and delighted in the Buddha's word. So that is the end of the reading for the purpose of doing today's Sutta studies. Simply this discourse revealing such things like we discussed. So if you have any addition, any clarification, please do so. I know that you come forward and speak, because this is a long sutta, though it is in Majjhima Nikaya, and a lot of repetition, not repetition, I mean, lot of same type of explanation. And when you read it, you find how useful it is. Try to read with picking up main point so that you would read it quickly. So I'll let you speak, Dr. Pial.
I think this was an excellent sutra because of the definitely extension from last sutra we discussed, Yugananda Sutra, which talks about 4 ways of release. One, both ways. I think we talk about here as well. They using both samatha and vipassana, upatobhaga vimukta, and one way come samatha and vipassana, samatha and sometimes getting rid of the corruption of inside, the fourth method. But this one goes a little bit beyond, like further, like so give us different options, like 7 options. So in other words, like it's kind of expanded, like other options, faith follower, Dharma follower, whereas liberated by faith, liberated by wisdom, and so forth, and body witness. Body witness, I found a bit difficult to understand. It's probably, as what you explained, is more do samatha, like kayanupassana, maybe using more kayanupassana, I believe, and to samatha, it's called like a more awareness release. That's the only thing was a bit of a bit confusing for me. But the others, like either they fall into one of the categories, like faith follower, liberated by faith, or body witness, possibly 2 goes through the awareness release, whereas Dhamma follower or a liberated by wisdom and attentive to view goes through this discernment release. So these are the 2 paths, or some can go both ways, like the upatobhaga vimukti. So I think what Buddha is explaining here is many options available for different individuals depending on their type of practice and personality, I believe.
Yeah, if we take these 7 individuals, we have no much information about, as you said, body witness but let me read this part, body witness, because what sort of individual is a body witness? Here, because a certain person dwells, uh, having touch with the body, those liberations, peaceful and formless, that transcend form, but only some of his mental influxes are destroyed through his seeing with wisdom. This individual, because is called a body witness. So I say of such a monk that he still has to do. Yeah, I think. Yeah, true. Kayanupassana would be much of his area of investigation. At the same time, he is able to do other form of meditation to mainly develop samadhi. And I think many of those body witness experience much of samadhi because uh, Kaya Sakki means the Pali word is very rich, I think, here. Kaya Sakki, you experience something from the body. When you attain to different stages of samadhi, what you feel is your body is so relaxed and you like it. You tend to go into that level over and over again and make sure to attain either stage of enlightenment. It is clearly said that this person who is in the body has to be done some way, which means he is not an full enlightened person yet, but he has either other stage of enlightenment.
So form and formless jhana, right? In other words,
Yeah, indeed.
yeah,
He or she has practiced much of those.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I think when the body witness, Kayasaki become a full enlightened person, who he would be, I think, Ubhatobhag Vimutta, because he has that skills to embrace all kinds of skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal
Thank you, Bhante.
understanding. Yeah. Yeah, I agree to what you said because they are up to the reading here. And then, yeah, what you said is true with the other people as well. Panya Vimutta and Dhamma Anusari, what do you call Dittipatta. So Dittipatta says a certain person dwells not having touch with the body, those liberation, peaceful and formless, that transcend form, but only some of his mental influxes are destroyed through his seeing with wisdom. Some people understand the Dhamma in the name of Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami just by, they have previous experience and they have experience on Samadhi in a certain extent. The quality of Samadhi is there. So, however, they haven't done much on mental, what do you call Samadhi. So, that is what it exactly said here. So, Dittipata. Dasava Bhikkhave Asava Pahata. But that is the part for Sovan, and those people who evaluate the Dhamma with their wisdom faculty come into Sotapanna and then look at those people who attain to Anagami directly and Sakadagami. They have that Samadhi quality in mind, but directly they experience that because of this nature. So the Tipata view attainer. Their view is cleared. So let me read this from Derek. Yes, I think it is fair to say those that see danger in samsara want safety. Yeah. And are there any details given in suttas to help a practitioner determine if there are a Dhamma or faith follower? I can understand why one would want believe such of oneself. However, delusion could create a wrong view regarding this. Thank kind sir. Yeah. So it's a long statement. Let me read it again. Your question is if there are a Dhamma or faith follower. are there any details given in suttas to help a practitioner determine if they are a Dhamma or faith follower? Yeah, as I said, Samyutta Nikaya Ukkanti Samyutta, if you accept, if you practice that senses are impermanent and depending on something, what are the Pali words? Chakkhum bhikkhve aniccang viparinami anyatavāvi. Eyes are impermanent. Aniccang bhikkhave aniccang, chakkhum bhikkhve aniccang viparinami, change to otherwise. And if you practice this over and over, that is a point, that is a close gate for you to attain to actually first you transform your character from Pruthajjana to Sappurisa Bhumi, and then the Saddhanusari, Dhammanusari, and then even to attain the other stage of enlightenment. So I think one source you could read and practice is Kanti Samyutta, Samyutta Nikaya, and if one wants to either test themselves whether we are Saddhanusari or Dhammanusari in the first place, read it. For me personally, when I read discourses, I can feel where I am in with this discourse. And because I am the one who knows about me very well, and I know what exactly Buddha said. So we can see the gap between the Dhamma and myself in with regard to the practice. So if I answer to the question, are there any details given in the suttas to help a practitioner determine if they are a Dhamma or faith follower, I can understand why one would want believe on such believe such of oneself. However, delusion could create a wrong view regarding this. Yes, it's a matter of using a kind of blade which has two sides that sharpen. You have to think about such things carefully, because sometimes if you do not have enough Dhamma to evaluate and think about it, you might develop self-view. And if you know how to think about it, if you know how to evaluate yourself, you are going away from developing self-view. So delusion could be arising if people do not evaluate well. There are many such examples, like people understand the Dhamma factually, and the self view come as a result. Okay, I know much of the Dhamma than other people, and they are looking for peace and happiness, or what you call enlightenment, with facts, with data, outside of their horizon. So so that I make the point here that we have to know how exactly we should analyze ourselves, how exactly Dhammang Upaparikkati, how to find the Dhamma in us, and to what extent we look at in us, and what exactly, what faculty, what physical, how we analyze physical body and mind. So we have to know these things in order to do that. Otherwise, we might be creating confusion and more unwholesome thoughts in us, because we put ourselves into a trap. So that's why Buddha said in other places, Maggan Sanjayati, we have to find the path first. Last discussion was about Yuganatha Sutta. When you practice samatha, then lead into such a way, you first find the path. So we have to do it, no matter which subject we take and ponder over. So I don't know whether I have answered the concern Derek posted here. Anyway, I think one of the sources we can refer is Okkanti Samyutta, and by way of reading those discourses, you can find very pleasant, very applicable statement of the Buddha for you. All right, some discourses are not fitting for you because of too much details, and depth of the Dhamma would be very much there. But some discourses you read, if you read continuously, you find easy ground for understanding. So that's what I can tell Derek and everyone with regard to that. Anything else you could feed? Please take your time. Now, do you see the importance of practicing samadhi and also reflecting yourself as anicca, dukkha, and anatta? Because we do not know how we are going to attain enlightenment. Perhaps if you put so much effort on meditation and at the same time work on anicca, dukkha, anatta on your mind, on your body, and five aggregates, you will be having all of these qualities. Because as you might be an ubato bhaga vimukta. So we talk about the ways of liberation. You liberate yourself with all the skills. So if you have not been done much on meditation, still you practice kusala, you understand things from your wisdom, you might be an enlightened person, perhaps without those cheto vimutti. So then, you know what is exactly Dittipatta, Kaya Saki into a certain extent. Then Saddhanusari, some people practice so much on Shraddha, which is okay. Look at what is that monk who committed suicide? He was very interested. Look at the Buddha's body. I cannot remember his name. There was a monk. Vakkali, yes. He was very much into the action, sitting near the Buddha or somewhere close to the Buddha. Look at the Buddha's peaceful nature. So, and there were other monks who actually practice Shraddha very much. They have that qualities like cleaning very much and keeping things very tight and nice, and that's how they become happy. They find their interest on further practice. They clean their clothes very much, and they are very tight and clean and neat, and they would like to recite beautifully, and they would love to keep the shrine room colorful. We actually we see that kind of behaviors of some monks and some lay people, and if they are asked to do some preparation for ceremonies, they want to do it colorful. I think they end up their journey with saddha vimutta, because the faculty they develop very much is saddha out of those 5 indriya: Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. So that according to the Buddhology, I mean the history of Buddha or the Dharma about Buddha, there we talk about some bodhisattvas who practice Shraddha very much as a quality. So Saddhadika Buddha, we have no much evidence of them, but there are such things in the Dharma literature. So I think we can test ourselves who we are and with the way we practice, right? So some people do not want to offer flowers and light up candles, but they like to meditate. They do not find any significance of these rituals, but they are very much in the Dharma. So I think their faculty is Panya Indriya very much. And some people are so energetic. Some people some people have a mixture of all these things. Some people have Shraddha Indriya very much. So depending on different characters and nature, they have such skills and characteristic features. So test yourself who you are and who are you, which way you are going to be enlightened. You can have a sense of what you will be. So anything else? We talk about Kitagari Sutta. There we have that information about the eating in improper time, and we talk about those bhikkhus who did not listen to the Buddha, and then we talk about the 7 types of people, and we have such information there. And when you read this kind of suttas, there are other implications you can go with, like when you read Saddhanusari and Dhamma. So suppose you are much interested on Saddhanusari, then type Saddhanusari or Dhammanusari in Google and you find similar discourses or discourses that talk about Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari. And then how do you shift yourself from a mundane average Pruthujjana level to Sappurisa Bhumi? So what exactly I need to do? These information might be helpful for you to talk about Dhamma with somebody who doesn't know. So just collect those data, suttas, for your benefit as well as other people you associate, especially those who teach Dhamma for family members, friends, need some background, need some data in mind. So collect these suttas as good information. So if you do not have anything else, I would end today's sutta study now, because it's a busy day for me. I've been working on such things throughout the day. And after this, I'm going to have another session for 2 hours, so that I might end this sutta discussion right now. Thank you very much for your question and concern, and those who listen to us silently also benefit from these suttas. My request for you is to read the discourse, direct translation, if you have enough time. One of our friends sent me an email asking which translation we should read, either from Bhikkhu Bodhi or Bhikkhu Thanissaro or something else. Time to time I change it, because whatever is available I do. In Sutta Central you have basically 3 translations: Bhikkhu Bodhi, Bhikkhu Thanissaro, Bhikkhu Suddaso, sometimes somebody Sujato. So the way I do is I start reading each translation, and one of them would be fitting for me, then I go with that. Basically I go with Bhikkhu Bodhis and then Bhikkhu Thanissaro. Some translation of Bhikkhu Thanissaro is much better than Bhikkhu Bodhi, depending on the words they use. But I used to read Pali real Pali discourses, because it could be done by me because of Pali knowledge I get. It's not that much, but I can read discourses and understand. So so if you find Bhikkhu Thanissaro, read carefully, and Bhikkhu Bodhi, so find which one I should go. Okay, that's all for today. It's we will be meeting with you again next week with a different discourse. I would be waiting for your suggestion, and anybody can suggest, right? Not only Derek or Dr. Pial, they would love you suggest a discourse. So I would wait for several days to get your suggestion. Otherwise, I will select a discourse and have a discussion next week. So may you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Try your best to accomplish your spiritual goal, and may you attain Nibbana sooner than later. With that hope in mind, with that wish in mind, we end today's sutta discussion. Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu.